Yeah, most sports talking heads make predictions, then hope you forget about how wrong they were. But not Mackie and Judd.
Write this down.
This is the big leagues, where we own our terrible predictions.
Write that down.
And keep track of each other's batting averages. It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackie and Judd.
Write them down. It's like a personal contract with ourselves.
Always fun to have a new addition to the old button bar here on Mackie and Judd on a Write That Down Wednesday. This is the most innovative high-wire act in all of sports media. Don't be fooled by the thieves out there, the imitators. NFL Network. Blatantly stealing. People were sending screenshots of the Write That Down segment on NFL Network this last Sunday.
Our old friend, right? Jamie? Is she part of the show that stole it?
I don't think so. I think it's the pregame show.
No, Ison? I expected more from Rich.
But it was like the B squad because it was a London game. So I don't know. It was Colleen. Was it Colleen Wolfe and then a couple others because they didn't have the A squad for these London games. But I don't know. NFL Network on Sundays has stolen the segment. That's fine. But you know where it originated several years ago here. The only show in America that puts statistics next to our predictions so you can tell just how wrong we are on a regular basis. So whenever you guys chirp us on Twitter or email, hey, Judd, is it time for you to admit that you were wrong? Well, it will be time every Wednesday when the predictions are wrong. We will be held accountable. So here's how it works. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs. Listeners, if you want to participate, like Eric is about to, you can send us a message through the SKOR North app. There's a feedback tab, and we will get you scheduled hopefully sometime in 2022. All right, Judd, you had a ton of stuff come off the board here this week. Look at all the colors here.
Whoa. Oh my God, it looks like the 4th of July.
Strap in. Well, it looks like Christmas, actually. A lot of green.
Whatever. You know, I just a holiday, okay?
It's that jacket with no arms. You know,
that's not a vest. I got a guy on Twitter that said that's not a vest.
How is it not a vest?
Because a vest is something that you wear indoors. I don't want to talk about it again. It's not
who's to say he didn't come in from outdoors either, that he still had it on?
But he had it on because he was outdoors.
Oh, my God.
He does not wear that indoors. I guarantee it. You know what? I'm going to try to go today. I will ask. I will say, Kevin, do you wear that jacket? Let's not call it a vest.
Why don't you ask him, what would you call that you're wearing?
I'll try.
Okay.
I'll try. Yeah. I know. That's what we're saying.
We need the answers to the tough questions. All right. Well, we'll start with the bad news for Judd here. I'm afraid I've got some bad news, Judd.
Bad news.
Kaprizov will not play in another Wild preseason game.
Yep. Played at home games.
Tough as nails.
He played in home games. But the next one is a terrible beat because I was right and they were wrong.
You said sometime this season, Tommy Watkins will be replaced as Twins third base coach. It sounds like he might not even be replaced at all, like after the season.
Right. But I mean, I purposely said he will. I purposely did not say he will be fired, right? Because he's not going to be fired. I just thought he might be replaced. And they still didn't do that.
No. Wave him home, Watkins. You said Matt Dumba will be traded by the Wild this offseason.
Yeah.
There'll be a credible report during the season that Carlos Correa will remain with the Twins in 2023. You said Gary Sanchez won't finish the season. He hit a bomb on the final day, didn't he?
And at one point, right after the trade, that looked like a slam dunk. That I'd be right about that. And
he was pretty good this season.
Yeah, he got kept.
Terrible.
He won't be back.
Kind of a peripheral player. You said there'll be at least one rule change to the NHL 3-on-3 overtime this offseason. I don't think there was.
I don't remember predicting that.
I know.
I know. I think that's right. Yep.
You said Chuck Fletcher and Mike Yeo won't be back with the Flyers for 2022-23. Well, Mike Yeo's gone, but Chuck Fletcher, Teflon Chuck.
Hired Tortorella.
Yeah,
which is
just sticking around.
Weird hire for him.
But you did have a few correct predictions. You said the Twins will trade for a starting pitcher by the deadline as part of a parlay, which was correct. And the second leg of the parlay is Devin Smeltzer will never start a game again for the Twins, with the timeline there being this tenure. Right. And he was bumped off the roster and then elected free agency, according to our guy Teddy Schwarzler from Twins Daily. So correct.
Thank you very much. Jake Cave claimed by Baltimore. It's over. Diving Jake, it's over.
I love that. I love how they They tried 4 years of Jake Cave.
Yes.
And now they're like, okay, all right. Okay.
We're good.
Let's expose him to waivers. By the way, speaking of Twins Daily, I saw they've been pushing this Aaron Judge reckless speculation on their Twitter feed. I feel like they've clowned us for several years for our clickbaity reckless speculation, but now the water is warm and those guys are jumping in. So welcome Twins Daily to the reckless speculation pond.
Are you saying that they're becoming part of the Buzz Factory? Oh, Buzz Factory.
That sounds
Buzz
like
Factory.
they are.
You know the Buzz Factory.
It sounds like they are. You said, Judd, Daniil Hunter will have at least one sack against the Bears. He did. The Guardians would win their first-round playoff series. And Luis Arraez would finish top 3 in the American League batting average race. Nice little recovery for Judd. Just a few things off the board for old Macadac here. Carlos Correa would have a walk-off hit at some point during September or October. D'Lo would not be with the Wolves on opening day. Well, we're not quite to opening day, but I don't think they're trading him now. So on this last one here, we brought this up last week. I went to 3 different websites, including Baseball Reference, Wikipedia, and MLB. And even though he wasn't the acting manager for these last month's worth of games, the games still fall under Tony La Russa's managerial record. So my prediction of Tony La Russa's last game managing the White Sox will be against the Twins turns out to be correct. He was given credit or debit for those last games of the season. So a weird loophole for me to get a point there.
Yeah, it's a very fortuitous play by you.
Yeah, I'm not rooting for his demise or anything, but appreciate that they would give him the wins and the losses.
All
And then,
bad beat.
Yeah, the listeners here, Brandon said Luis Arraez will finish top 3 in batting average for all of Major League Baseball, not just the American League. He finished 4th.
Oh,
Yep.
Behind
That's
3
a
National League
terrible
guys.
beat. Awful beat.
JD said Minnesota United will beat Vancouver and make the MLS playoffs, which you can hear on 1500 ESPN next Monday night. Chris said Bray Wyatt will return to the WWE by January 2nd.
Way to
did.
go, Bray.
the whole world.
I'm glad for Bray. I have
And then
no idea who Bray is. But...
Stewart said Kaprizov will be with the Wild on opening day when it looked like he was maybe going to be stuck in Russia.
I say hot, but yeah.
Thank God.
So nice week for the listeners. Declan, largely a good week for you. You said Correa and we'll start with the bad ones. Correa and the Twins would agree to an extension before the end of the season. You said the Twins would move on from Chris Archer before Dylan Bundy at some point this year. They didn't move on from either one of those
They
guys.
did. Yeah, you're going to stay off. Yeah. Right.
Bray Wyatt will sign with AEW. But then you hedged by saying Bray Wyatt will return to WWE at Extreme Rules this weekend.
Yeah. Good hedge. Love Bray Wyatt.
Cousins will post a QBR of 70 or above against the Bears. And this is a home run. It's very specific. You said Matt Rule specifically will be the first coach fired this NFL season. He was among the favorites, but to nail it, we're going to give you a home run there.
I thought I had a Matt Rule prediction.
I did too.
I must have misremembered.
Maybe it's on
that.
Purple Daily.
It's on Purple Daily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll get to it on Purple Daily today.
Got it.
So with that, Declan still leads both categories, a 451 batting average, 14 home runs. Judd, you're at 363 with 8 home runs. Listeners at 305 with 11 home runs. And I'm at 298 with 11 home runs. All time, Judd, 245 hits. I'm closing in on 200 career hits, hopefully next week. And the listeners still lead with 30 home runs. So, all right, let's get him in here. Guest listener predictor, Eric. On Mackie and Judd, write that down. And ordinarily, Eric, we start the session here by asking the audience member, when did you first become a Minnesota sports fan? But you told us off mic you're not even really a Minnesota sports fan.
Well, yeah, because I live here in Florida. I'm in Central Florida. I'm actually live in a town called St. Cloud.
Okay.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
little commonality. And I want to say I became a Viking supporter back when they drafted
Dalvin, yeah.
They got Dalvin, and I was really happy because I really didn't want him to go to like a team like the Eagles or like the Giants or or the Packers or some team like that. So, like, I've always liked the Vikings in some way, and I just actually become more of a Vikings fan over recent, even more than the Cowboys to a certain extent. I kind of feel like how you guys felt last year with the Vikings, the way I kind of feel now, even though the Cowboys are winning, like kind of the same way, like kind of a apathy with how they run things and just the overall like discontention sometimes, like when you see how the players operate and the coaching staff and stuff. So really pulling for you guys, and I really would like to see the Vikings win it in the next few years.
Yeah, I think
Awesome.
we're all just kind of waiting for that first Super Bowl here before we die at some point. So here's how it's going to work. We're going to start with Eric, over to Judd, Declan, and then back around to me. 3 trips around the room.
Write this down.
Eric, you are the leadoff hitter, sir. Go ahead.
All right, since I'm more in this from the Viking standpoint than the other Minnesota sports teams, and I feel bad for you guys with the whole Twins bloodbath that just happened a few minutes ago with all the predictions that came off the board. I'll stick with just Vikings. I'll kind of stick with just Dalvin for that matter.
Sure.
Write this down. Dalvin Cook will accumulate at least 100 total yards, have at least 1 touchdown, so that could be passing, rushing, or receiving, and have at least 1 20-yard play versus the Dolphins this coming Sunday.
Okay.
Prediction.
And
Solid.
off the record, I want to kind of see them incorporate some more wheel routes. In the past, when he was at Florida State, he ran a lot of real wheel routes, and they were massively successful. And in one case versus the Hurricanes, they ran one that actually won the game. It was like a 60-yard wheel route where they just had him go, and he took it to the house. And I kind of like the way what they're doing things with him and the team, because last year it kind of frustrated me kind of watching the games where they were very predictable. And it's kind of like the coaching staff now is kind of saying, okay, well, instead of running here, we're going to pass here. Instead of passing here, we're going to run here. Maybe we're going to run with this guy or pass with this guy. And it's kind of really confused a lot of these teams. And I kind of think O'Connell has really just like scratched the surface with the amount of plays and the kind of plays he wants to run. And I like to kind of see them operate like some kind of wheel routes and things like that. And I kind of think, and he's always pounded the Miami area in terms of Hurricanes and Dolphins in the past with his performances. So I kind of think he's probably due.
I like it. That would be a home run if it hits on the parlay front there. So, all right, over to Judd, your first prediction.
All right, first of all, the man said wheel route, and I didn't get a football.
There's Judd calling for.
I'd like to call for the. I've been stripped of the Sounders.
Throw the flag.
Been stripped of the Sounders. Okay. So on quick plug. On Judd's Hockey Show, Declan and I did a series of 5 each. Write that downs. That show should be out today. Season predictions.
Oh, those count. Those count.
Those will not count. But I'm going to incorporate one that I gave into a parlay off of one that Dex also talked about. But write this down. Wild prediction. Kirill Kaprizov will score at least 50 goals and be a finalist for the Hart Trophy, which goes to the NHL MVP this season.
Okay. I think, so back up a step. What did you guys do on Judd's Hockey Show?
5 write that down predictions apiece.
Why would they not
for
count?
Season preview. We didn't even think about it.
I personally think that what we were trying to do there was it was just going to be predictions that we could revisit by the end of the Wild season on Judd's Hockey Show. Now, if we want those to count towards the Mackey and Judd edition of Write That Down, we certainly can.
I think you should go on the record.
They're on the record. Declan's got them.
Double cheat plug. You guys, audience, go over to Judd's Hockey Show to hear some additional Wild predictions, if that's what those were. Make them official. And then later on this week, come on over to Flagrant Howls, where Kyle Tiggy and I will make our own Timberwolves season predictions for Write That Down. We will go on the record as well.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
If
in
everyone's
addition
doing it.
to the Timberwolves optimism, I will continue spewing on this version of Write That Down. There's plenty more where that came from. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Everyone cool? We good? Okay.
We're good.
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right,
Didn't
Declan.
see it coming, but
All right, 3 hockey-related predictions, 2 about the Wild here for me on this week's episode. I write that down. So the Wild host the Rangers on Thursday night, opening night. The Wild will beat the Rangers by at least 2 goals. So the Wild win an opening night, and they beat the Rangers by at least 2 goals. Write it down.
That's a home run, right? It's got to be a home run.
I'm saying it's a win, and it's a win by at least 2.
Yeah, that's a blowout prediction right there in hockey, I think.
Write that down.
We're going to give Dex. I think Dex deserves a home run if that happens. Unless someone can find me, like, is there like a spread that says the Wild are 2-goal favorites? I don't think that's how.
I haven't seen I have not seen that spread yet.
Okay. All right, write this one down. Let's go to the Wolves Kool-Aid here, okay?
Write that down.
The Minnesota Timberwolves will finish the regular season as one of the top 4 seeds in the Western Conference. So they will play. They will have home court advantage in a first-round playoff series. They will finish top 4 seed in the Western Conference. Is that a home run?
I was going to ask, is that a home run? Because top 4 is pretty damn good in this conference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the Warriors exist still.
Okay.
The Lakers will be
I'm fine with
healthier. The Suns are still very, very good. The Mavericks.
Write
So.
that down.
Nuggets. Okay.
To just go through the whole league. The Grizzlies are up and coming.
The Pelicans. The
Okay,
Blazers,
over to the Warriors.
The Clippers. Over to the. All right. Back to Eric for your second prediction.
Yeah, that's going from 7 to 4 would be a big jump in that conference. So I definitely agree with that.
Thank you.
Write this down. During the telecast, the commentators, field reporter, or some mention during the telecast, someone will mention that Dalvin Cook is in some fashion from the Miami area or played football in the Miami area.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is definitely a bunt, but you know what? I think
That's cool.
the listeners can definitely use a batting average boost, so definitely counts. Yeah, they have to, right? They'll make the hometown connection.
What?
After his 20-yard run, there's Dalvin Cook with the longest run of the season in front of his family and friends here. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I know they've done it before when he's played against Lamar and some other players that he's played with or played against down in Miami. So well, if it doesn't happen, I'd be shocked. They were trying to fill content.
I like what you're doing there, though, because you are getting points.
Yeah, you got to rack
That's a
them
solid.
Write this down.
Yeah, there's
That's a
too many
solid
in baseball today. There's too many guys that are comfortable hitting 212 and just swinging for the fences. You got to hit the ball to opposite field once in a while.
Just lay down a beautiful bunt.
Yep, exactly.
Write this down.
All right,
Shocked everybody. The
back to
shift
Judd.
was on. The shift was on. The shortstop was in center field. Third baseman was at shortstop. You just bunted the ball. Beautiful. All right. Considering what we saw the last time that the Gophers played against Purdue, and they're going to be playing a pretty good, it looks like Brett Bielema-led Illinois team on Saturday. The Gophers football team will lose on Saturday to the Illini.
Wah, wah.
You know what? You know what? Prove me wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Prove me wrong. But that display against Purdue disgusted me so thoroughly. And this team looks pretty good. Bielema's got him on the right track. I can't stand the guy. I think he's just a slappy and a jerk. But I'm going to predict the Gophers lose that game. PJ, prove me wrong.
Yes, PJ, you owe it personally to Judd Zolgad.
Yes.
I went to that game. I was at that game. I wasted my time. You know what?
Did you pay for the tickets?
No, in the press box.
No, I was in the press box.
Okay, I'm just going to check.
No, I
Just wanna
didn't.
check.
No, but you know what? I did. I paid for the gas. And
Oh,
you know what?
you paid
I
for the
did
gas.
pay for the ticket because Dawn went on her ticket, which comes from both of us. Yes, so I did pay for a ticket.
I am
so
the
I
man.
did.
I
so
control
I
the
did,
finances.
So I did pay. No, we're in this together. Our money is one.
Unbelievable.
Our money is
I
one.
allowed my
and
wife to
I
spend
did
money.
not know. She spent the money.
You're
We
incredible.
are on a joint account, and so yes, Slappy, I paid for my ticket.
Write this down.
A ticket.
All right, Declan.
All right, my second prediction. So the vaunted Wild power play has been clicking in the preseason. So hopefully this translates to the regular season. So write this down. The Wild power play will convert at least 4 goals in their first 10 opportunities. So the Wild have to go 4 for 10
40%.
at least in their power play opportunities to start the season. Feel
Is
like I
that
can
a
help you
home
track
run, or
this too.
what's the story there? The home run?
It's 40% in 10 opportunities. Judd, what do you think?
That's a small sample size. I don't think it's a home run. It's a
Okay.
small sample size.
Okay.
It's a good solid.
Again, it's
prediction.
close. It's close.
Okay, it's a good solid prediction.
Write that down.
Okay,
That would
write
be a
this
very
down.
impressive start.
I'm going to counter Judd's Gopher negativity here. I think you're on the wrong side of history this weekend, Judd,
Good. Prove me wrong.
because I see a game in which the Gophers get one of the best running backs in the country back. I see an Illinois team that has been reading a lot of positive press clippings about being ranked in the top 25. Unexpected hot start to the season. And the Gophers have been stewing on a terrible loss for 2 weeks.
Good.
the Gophers will go on the road and they will beat the Illinois Fighting Illini.
I love it. I love it. Meineke Car Care Bowl, here we come. You know what? Get Ford
Does
Field
that bowl
ready.
still exist?
Get Ford Field all set because we're coming. Pinstripe Bowl, we're coming.
I'll tell you, if the Gophers win this game against Illinois, they're back on track to then we're going to think, then they can beat Penn State the following week here. And then if they do that, then they're going to be smooth sailing to the Western.
I will not.
I'm back.
No, I'm not back. I'm not coming back.
Bro.
The bandwagon stopped, I got off, and I'm walking home. And it's a long walk.
That's okay. We'll offer you a ride in 2 weeks.
No, I don't want your ride.
Okay. All right, back to Eric here for your third and final prediction.
Write this down.
Hey, what's that? When I heard the Meineke Car Care Bowl, what's that bowl out in San Diego? It had like a ridiculous.
That was the San Diego Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl or something.
That's good. I think you're right,
right.
dude.
Is
wow. Yeah,
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
These seem like these bowl names are getting like ridiculously long, and you can't remember who's wearing which. It's like
they should add like 3 sponsors to the title of every bowl game. Now we're opening up. Now it'll be the San Diego Credit Union, Wendy's, Meineke Car Care, Peach
Presented
Bowl.
by GoPro.
Yeah.
presented by Federated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
I like where you're
Presented by Livia, actually, Judd. Tell the audience how much weight you've lost over the past year.
Exactly right. 40 pounds down, and most importantly, keeping it off. And now your ears are perking up because you're saying 40 pounds down, Judd. How did you do that? And I'm going to tell you that came from my friends at Livia Weight Control Centers. As I continue to say, weight control centers. It's not a diet plan, weight control. So you drop the weight, but most importantly, you keep that weight off. And now you're saying, okay, Judd, do you got a deal here? Like, can I get in on the ground floor of a deal? Absolutely. First 8 weeks for free. That's right. First 8 weeks for free. And with the new Flex program, you get to enjoy the foods you love: fruit, pasta, and even bread. 855-GO-LIVIA. Livia, LIVEA.com. LIVEA.com. Inside the state or out, it doesn't matter. Check it out. 8 weeks free. It is a fantastic program. Livia.com.
All right. Now we get back to Eric's final prediction here.
Awesome. Write this down. My last Dalvin Homer prediction here. So write this down. Dalvin Cook will accumulate at least 1,500 total yards for the 2002 regular season. I think ESPN Stats has him right now after the last game just at above 1,500 total yards. I know what his history of missing games, getting nicked up, and the way they're using him, that might be a stretch. But I think it's one of those things to where, like, as the offense kind of gets going further and further along, you kind of see that maturation process with how these guys are kind of getting the system. They got the 4-game in-season, preseason out of the way, and I think with these next coming games coming up and the way they're using the offense, even though, and rightfully so, he's probably splitting off some carries with Madison to kind of preserve his health and kind of like maintain that balance with the team. I still think with both rushing and receiving that he can probably get the 1,500 yards.
Love it. There he is, Eric, the biggest Dalvin Cook fan in the Mackey and Judd and Purple Daily listener audience. So since you've got this life-changing platform right now, Eric, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that brought you to this pinnacle moment?
Well, I was going to say Rick Spielman for drafting Dalvin, but I'm not going to go that route. So I just take this time to say thanks for the opportunity to come onto the show. So I really enjoy watching this show and all its content. I'm really hoping that you guys, when you get back to AMR, you guys end up doing like a movie like Tango and Cash or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. A few people have recommended Tango and Cash. We definitely.
One of ridiculous bad movies, but like it's just you can't take your eyes off it sometimes. I love to hear you guys break it down and all its like weird like just plot twists and non-plot twists. But really appreciate you guys having me on. Really pulling for the Vikings and generally for all the Minnesota sports teams. Wishing all the best, Phil, with your father and your guys' families and such like that. And like I said, I really enjoy the programming and hope to be back on someday soon.
Awesome, man. Eric, thanks for the kind words.
Thanks, Eric.
Great predictions and good luck with Dalvin the rest of the way, man.
Yeah.
All right. Judd, let's make a final trip around the room here. Your third prediction.
All right, my third and final prediction, NHL playoff prediction to get on the record as we are now starting the season. The Rangers, who beat the Lightning last night, will face the Oilers in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Whoa.
It will be a Rangers-Oilers. This is, I mean, the Avs are the obvious team, but that's sort of a boring prediction. I do think they're going to be very good again. But anyway, the Rangers will face the Oilers in the Stanley Cup Finals I believe we'll be back in June again now, since the season's starting on time.
All right. Declan, your third and final prediction.
Judd teased a little bit there. So I was looking at Stanley Cup odds on FanDuel, just who has the best odds. Colorado, on the money line, is minus 3,000 to be a playoff team in 2022-23. Minus 3,000. The second best team with playoff odds is Toronto at minus 1,000. So a 2,000-point gap between the Avs making the playoffs versus the Leafs. And yeah, both those teams should be in the playoffs. I want a home run, and I want to see this play out. Write this down. The Colorado Avalanche will miss the NHL playoffs in 2022-23. Let me tell you why, too. Let me just tell you why. Not
Drug
just for
testing.
us. Let me just tell you why.
Hubbard drug testing program, where are you?
First off, they have traded for an unproven goaltender in Alexander Gorgorov, who was not good last year. They punted.
Great. He's great.
He wasn't good. He wasn't good in any advanced stat. He was very league average in traditional stats. You're trusting a goaltender who is extremely unproven. You could have injuries that happen. You could have a Stanley Cup hangover that happens. Hockey is also incredibly random. And for a team to have that high of odds, to me, says they will miss it. So write it down. The Colorado Avalanche will miss the playoffs.
To make the
All right. Well,
this is why drug testing was instituted. I want a thorough workup of Declan.
I want it on the
home
record
run shot
first.
here.
I want it on the record first.
Darcy Kemper won a Stanley Cup, dude.
2 years. What was the first year of Patrick Waugh? Looked like, the Avalanche are going to be good for 10 years. They collapsed and missed the playoffs for like 3 straight years after that. It's the same core. They're getting older. Injuries can happen. Wow. I think that's way too high of odds for a hockey team. They'll miss the playoffs.
All right. Declan lashing out at the odds makers here. I like it.
Write it down. You like writing things down?
Wow.
All right. Speaking of odds makers, I feel like everyone keeps talking about Sean Payton, Cowboys, right? Well, Mike McCarthy's doing a pretty good job this year.
Yep.
So I'm going to get out in front of this one. I think I've mentioned this before on the shows, but I want to put it in writing here because I believe it's a home run. Sean Payton, write this down, will coach the Denver Broncos. So I guess I should specify the next head coach of the Denver Broncos. Or no. Sean Payton's job back will be with the Broncos.
Okay.
Sean Payton's next head coaching job will be with the Denver Broncos. There it is.
Wow.
Dude, he went on I think it was The Herd a couple days ago. There was a clip on social media. So one of those Fox Sports 1 shows. I think it was The Herd. But I saw this clip on social media of he was asked, what would you do to fix Russell Wilson? And he had like this great answer. It's like, well, I'd have my staff cut up every big like 25 or 30 plus yard pass play that he's known for. And I would want a catalog of all of those big plays. And I would reverse engineer the playbook to make those plays happen. Okay, you're hired. Nate Hackett, if you want to stick around and just kind of be the quarterback's coach or just go nowhere near the offense, that's cool too. You can just kind of.
I wonder if our guy George Payton's in trouble too. I mean, he hired Hackett, new owner coming in, might want his own people.
Yeah,
that's
rough.
That's a really bad hire. That is a terrible and look, I didn't know that the guy could not manage a game.
How would you know unless you put him through some sort of test? That's so hard to know in the interview.
You know what I want though?
Process.
I want somebody who comes in, sits down, and exudes calmness. Right? Like I feel O'Connell enthusiastic, but the guy's calm.
He's got some chill to him.
Hackett has no chill. He seems
nervous.
I would think that you would pick up on that almost instantaneously. Yeah. That there is that there's nerves there that I don't necessarily want from my head coach.
Yeah, Hackett's got no chill.
He's got no chill.
All the chill.
And that cool jacket.
Yeah.
With no sleeves.
That sleeveless jacket that he's rocking. What a fashionista. All right, those are your write that down predictions here.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
The only show in America that actually puts statistics next to our predictions. You cowards at NFL Network and whoever else is stealing this segment. You can find the football version of it over on Purple Daily And please click subscribe on the SKOR North and Purple Daily YouTube channels as we look to build this community of Minnesota sports fans. See you guys.